Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor. Today I'm away from the studio. I'm actually in front of a room full of patriots pouring into people who are ready to fight for faith, family, and freedom in their own communities. It's one of my favorite things I love to do, but I cannot let the day go by without walking with you too. So ahead of time, I sat down and recorded this conversation just for moments like this. I'd love for you to share one concrete thing that you're doing to push back and build something beautiful right where you are. This is part of a movement, and it needs your voice in it.
You remember like the 80s kids cartoon?
Yeah, yes, you're right, yeah.
Every kid loved it.
Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons.
Like, we loved them,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because they were actually quite wholesome.
Yeah,
Think about it.
yeah,
Like, think
yeah.
Optimus Prime. Well, he's a traditional masculine archetype. He-Man,
Right.
Thundercats, like all of these
Right.
80s cartoons, they're traditional. There was nothing critical about them.
Right.
You know, they were completely sincere in their traditional Western heroic archetypes.
Yeah.
It's like, they save the day. And there was an episode of He-Man at the end of this episode where they give the kids a lecture on the Magna Carta.
Oh,
Like,
no
I'm
way.
not joking. I went and looked it up.
That's
I was
wonderful.
like, there's no way. Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
not? And
yeah.
that's a civilization that likes itself.
Yes,
Because
yes,
that's been made
yes.
during the Cold War. It's like, no, we
yeah,
are good.
yeah.
We're not them. They are
Yeah.
obviously villains. We're not going to be like them.
Yeah.
And then since then, it's become ironic and then sardonic
Yeah.
and then suddenly actually kind of subversive and anti-Western civilization.
very much
and so I can't stand letting my kids watch modern cartoons because they're written by sarcastic millennials who don't sincerely believe any good thing came out of this.
Very flippant,
Exactly.
sarcastic.
But it also kind of like they don't recognize the innocence of childhood.
Right.
Because innocence is one of those things where we all know that it's real, and as soon as you lose it, you can never get it back.
Right.
And so protecting that is actually and
Contributing to the wonder, the awe.
exactly.
Yeah,
And this is what the story of Santa Claus is about. Right?
Yes,
The stories
yes.
of Santa Claus
Yeah.
is the collective agreement that we actually consider the innocence of children one of the most important things in the world.
Yeah.
And every year
And it awakens wonder in us. That's the
of
thing,
course. And it's lovely to see your kids.
yeah,
They're like, oh, look what Santa's got. And they're like, wow, look at how magical the world is. And every adult knows they've got responsibility to make sure kids believe in Santa.
Did you ever read Tolkien's letters to Santa Claus?
No, I didn't,
Oh, it's
actually.
wonderful. He wrote it.
Really?
He wrote it for his boy, his son. And I don't know where I came across, and so I ordered it. And it's a collection of letters. It's even kind of his son would write letters to Santa, and so Tolkien would write back, and it even has a sort of tremor in the script to make him look old, and they're beautiful. And he talks about the North Pole and the reindeer, and
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
How have
it's
I not seen those?
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, Tolkien's. It's not letters. It's letters from Santa Claus. Yeah. But it's absolutely wonderful. Dude, I don't want. Before you leave, I got to get the state of play on UK politics right now. I know we're going from wonder down to here.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of a row going on with Russell and Nigel. I'm noticing that. So we got Russell Lowe,
Rupert Lowe.
Rupert. Forgive me, Rupert Lowe and Nigel Farage. What's going on? So here's what a Yankee's seeing from across the pond. For the first time in our lifetimes, you have a party that is not Tory and that is not Labour on top. Wow, paradigm shift, amazing. And yet, it seems to be kind of led by a little bit of a showman. I don't know how to put Nigel. I know I've listened to some of your. And then you have Rupert Lowe, who appears. I mean, I think did he resign from the party?
He got kicked out of the party.
He got kicked out of the party. So he seemed. Let me know if I'm right. He seems to be more of the soul of the party, where the people are.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Nigel is more the salesman for this new party, so that the powers that be, salesman for this new party to the powers that be, to kind of give them permission to come up.
Did you know that about 1 in 5 Americans live with chronic pain that won't go away? For many, the advice is always the same. Manage the symptoms with pills, injections, or quick fixes instead of addressing what's actually causing the pain. And the daily cost of pain isn't just physical. It affects your mobility, your work, your energy, your overall joy. Over time, it quietly limits how you live. That's why innovations like TheraBlue from my friends over at the wellness company really matter. TheraBlue isn't just another topical cream that sits on the surface. It's a next-generation peptide gel designed to work at the cellular level, where inflammation and tissue stress actually begin. It uses advanced molecular delivery technology to help key ingredients penetrate deeper into muscles and connective tissue. Its formula includes compounds like GHK copper peptide, which supports tissue repair and collagen production, along with NAD+ support for cellular energy and recovery. It also contains methylene blue, known for supporting mitochondrial function, plus natural anti-inflammatory ingredients like turmeric and arnica and MSM and white willow bark. The result is fast-absorbing, non-greasy comfort that doesn't just numb the area, but supports your body's own recovery process over time. No pills, no injections, no harsh chemicals. If you're dealing with muscle pain, joint discomfort, or ongoing inflammation, this is worth a look. Visit twc.health/Turley. That's twc.health/Turley and use code Turley to take 15% off TheraBlue, a next-generation pain-relieving gel from the wellness company.
Yeah, no, that's a great description. And the problem is it seems to be a character defect in Nigel himself. So Nigel's been in politics for 30 years.
Yeah.
And a good leader after 30 years in politics should have hundreds and hundreds of allies.
Yeah.
You would think, he's been doing this for literally decades, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And Donald Trump accumulated this kind of cohort of people very, very quickly. During his first run and presidency, you could see that he was very new to this.
Yeah.
He had unreliable people around
No
him.
friends, quite literally.
No friends.
Yeah.
He hadn't had time to build this up. But actually, one thing Republicans should probably do is send Joe Biden a letter saying, thanks for stealing 2020, because this gave Trump a time in the wilderness to build.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he brought on a great coalition of people,
Yeah.
RFK, Tulsi, and all the others. Right? He's brought on this great
Musk.
Yeah, exactly. There's just such a good coalition. But also, like Rubio's doing a great job.
Yeah,
Like,
he's amazing. Yeah, unbelievable.
I never thought Rubio had this in him.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a basic conservative.
Yeah, I was talking about a multipolar world. I'm like, what?
Okay, Rubio, he's brilliant, right? And so Trump has built up this wonderful coalition of highly capable people who, in their own rights, are really capable people. Well, Nigel Farage has gone the opposite direction of this and has said, look, I don't want anyone to threaten my position as the hegemon of the right wing in Britain, right? And so he's built a very narrow coalition of yes men. And so he's got this ivory tower where all around him there's very capable people who he keeps at arm's length and will have nothing to do with, right? And this makes his position very fragile. And it means that, like, for example, in the last election, he didn't really know that he was going to do as well as he did.
Okay.
Because he'd never been an MP before, but
Right.
an MEP in the European
Right.
And people in Britain are like, yeah, we'll send radicals, firebrands
To
European
Brussels.
Parliament.
Yeah.
Go give them hell. We don't care.
Yeah.
But for our parliament, we take this a lot more seriously,
Right.
right? And so Farage won 5 seats, and one of those was a guy called Rupert Lowe. And Rupert Lowe is a known property, right? So he's a self-made multimillionaire, businessman. He had owned Southampton Football Club for a decade or so during the 90s. So he's a good public speaker. He's a professional. He's been at the top of society for all this time. And he seems to be genuinely a really good guy.
Yeah.
He's been married for like 35 years. He's got 4 children,
Yeah.
still with the mother of his children.
Right.
He donates his salary to his constituency in Great Yarmouth every month.
Impressive.
So like 5 or 6 grand or whatever, however
Yeah.
much it is. He's like, right, I'm going to put that into a local charity. And he actually spends time doing the work.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. It's easy for an MP to just do nothing.
Right.
But he actually goes and sees his constituents, and they say, "Oh, I've got a problem with this thing in my garden or something is being blocked by this building. Can you sort it?" And he'll sort it, right? So he'll actually do the work. And so he built up in a really short period of time a lot of goodwill in his own constituency. And then in the Parliamentary Reform Party, you get these things called written notes. So you can write a particular official note to the government to get them to answer a question. They legally have to answer this question. So it's a good way of forcing the government to account. So look, make a statement on this thing. You have to now, right?
Yeah.
And they're not allowed to lie. And Nigel Farage has done this 20 times. Rupert Lowe had done this 900 times, right?
Wow.
And when Rupert Lowe finds out he's getting kicked out of the party, he's currently in a fundraiser, raising money for the party. And he's like, "Oh, you're being kicked out." So, am I? And so this whole thing was predicated on what seemed to be a bunch of false allegations about bullying in his office.
Oh, well, so it's lawfare. It's its own kind of lawfare.
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
If it was like, normal, that would be fine. But we've got something called the Equalities Act of 2010, which is the feminist act.
It does not sound good.
No, it's not. It's exactly not, right? And so the
equal for you, not for me.
That's it. Yeah. And so the allegations are basically Rupert Lowe was not sensitive enough to some female staffers' feelings in his office, and so they've accused him of bullying under the Equalities Act, and it's a massive mess because he's done nothing wrong.
Right.
He's done nothing wrong.
Of course.
And it's very clear that he's done nothing wrong. And loads of his staff came out and were like, no, Rupert Lowe's not bullying you. How could you? Because it's not about bullying. What it's about is not being sympathetic enough. And these two women who made these allegations were on disciplinaries because they violated data breach laws. So they'd shared data and whatever. It's very messy, but it was like he had not really done anything, and they probably should have been fired for what they'd done.
Right.
They're being investigated for gross misconduct themselves.
Yeah.
But Nigel and Zia Youssef clearly saw this as an ideal opportunity to get rid of him. Because Rupert Lowe is more right-wing than Nigel Farage is.
Yes.
Rupert Lowe is like, look, we have had a massive problem in this country with Pakistani rape gangs.
Right. Oh my, yes.
And it's been something that the establishment is afraid of dealing with. And the problem is, many people in this community know about this happening and did nothing.
Right.
They said nothing.
Right.
And Rupert Lowe's like, look, we need to get rid of these guys.
Over 30 years, right? It's
more than that,
wow.
actually. Back to the 70s, but it was a much smaller scale problem.
Wow.
But Rupert Lowe's like, look, all of these guys have to be deported and never come home.
Of course.
And the people who knew about it in their communities
have to be held
can
accountable.
Also get deported.
Oh, okay, there you go.
They can go. They all were complicit in these, and these are ethnically motivated rape gangs of children.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's hard to think of a worse crime.
Right. And the numbers are beyond.
We don't know.
We don't know,
But
right?
we know it's tens of thousands.
Yeah, I did hear the highest was 1 million.
Yeah,
I heard
that was a
insane.
Labour MP for Rotherham who said, Sarah Champion, who said, look, it could be up to 1 million girls who've been trafficked and raped.
I did a video on it. With our audience was like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, it's genuinely,
genuinely
as bad as
horrific.
You think. So Rupert Lowe is currently fundraising for his own, because Reform obviously promised a national investigation into this. Nothing happened because it's Nigel Farage who would be the one doing it. Rupert Lowe's been kicked out of the party, but he's like, no, I'm still going to do this national inquiry. So he's currently fundraising for the national inquiry. And he raised something like $250,000 in the first day or something.
Cool.
To actually perform the inquiry, which is superb. So we might actually get some more, some proper information about this. But the point is, Rupert had been leading from the front. He's like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that. Nigel always leads from the rear. He always waits for the safe, so it's safe to go in and occupy the ground.
Yeah.
Then he goes in.
Yeah.
Right. Someone else has taken the bullets. Now Nigel goes in. And so Nigel, and he's done this over and over and over. He's literally got dozens and dozens of people whose careers he essentially destroyed, letting them stand up and then cut their legs. Cut their legs out from under them, and then he can move in. And it's very gross. I don't like bringing it up, but it is true. And lots of these people are very angry at Nigel. And Rupert Lowe was kind of the worst person to do this to because he was an MP. He had a large public profile. And he seems to basically be a saint.
Yeah.
He seems to
with a very
nothing
strong
wrong.
following, very strong support, very loyal supporters.
Yeah, but he himself seems to be quite a virtuous man.
Yeah.
He actually seems to do the right thing for the right reasons to get the right results.
Yeah.
And Nigel has kind of stepped on a rake.
Opportunist.
But Nigel stepped on a rake with this because normally when he did this, Nigel's public presence was enough to overawe whoever he'd done this to, and they could just slip into obscurity. But Rupert decided that he wasn't going to take this because Rupert is actually a lot more similar to our Trump than Nigel is, because Nigel is kind of afraid of press backlash, whereas Trump was obviously at war with the media from day one. He's like, no, I hate you, and I'm going to defeat you, and he did, right? Rupert Lowe's a lot more like that because they've come up to him and goes, Rupert, are you sure you're going to do this? He's like, I make no apologies for any of this. This is the moral thing to do, and we're going to do it. So if Rupert Lowe starts something wonderful, I can't wait to support it. But Nigel Farage has been stalling in the polls. So he got up to 27%, and now he's down to 24%. 22%.
Ooh, he's going down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Nigel thought he could do all of this on his own.
Yeah.
And it turns out he can't.
He can't. Yeah.
And he's kind of declared war on his own base, which is very silly.
A disaster. Yeah.
And it's not good for the right in Britain.
No.
But it might be one of those things that's necessary.
You just have to work it exactly with the paradigm shift. They're never clean, and you just got. I mean, look at Trump. The first term, it was crazy, and then 2020, of course, but here we are 8 years later. Yeah.
So yeah, when we're still 4 years out from another election.
Yeah,
So a
you're
lot
right.
can change in that time. Like Reform was only founded in 2021.
I know, it's incredible.
It's incredibly new.
Absolutely amazing.
So you know, something new can pop up
Yeah.
and take hold. So
Yeah.
who knows? But the situation in Britain at the moment is.
I know, it's tough. It's the political paralysis that just plagues it.
Especially when you come to America and it's like, yeah, Trump's great. It's like, I know.
I know. And I
Trump's
don't want to go
deporting millions
back.
of them.
Yeah, right.
I do want to go back. I just wish that we had a patriotic party in charge of our country.
Yeah,
You know, and we just don't have a patriotic bloody party.
Yeah, I know. I heard it put that, again, just to wrap it all up here, and thank you, you've been so generous with your time, Carl. But
My pleasure.
I heard it put that in the post-World War II, the ground zero for liberal globalism was Europe.
Yes.
Europe was going to create a political and economic system that belonged to everyone because it belonged to no one. Yeah. So you sacrificed your culture, you sacrificed your identity, and every country was doing it on the other side of the Berlin Wall. And then you exported it to the world. They tried it for a while, and then there was this massive blowback. And now the only place on the planet that's embracing a non-identitarian, political economic system is Europe. They sacrificed their culture for a geopolitical order that has pushed them back, and now what are you left with? So by God's grace, is that we're gonna see. We're gonna see a correction in that. Now the whole purpose of it has been rejected. You wanted a global system. It's gone. We're now civilizationless. So it's time for Europe to be civilizationless too.
That is the best way to describe it. And the thing is as well, a lot of this is, I don't want to blame America because it's really our own moral weakness that has allowed this to happen. But America has a very strong integrationist ideology.
Right.
It's got a strong tradition. It's like, no, there's a plan. If you come to America, we have a plan for you.
You're right.
And we can enunciate this very, very clearly. Well, Europe doesn't have that.
Right.
Because America, you could say, it's a civic project, right? There's a particular constitution, there's a particular civic identity, and there's a particular set of norms that you follow to join that. And all Americans recognize you as an American if you follow these norms. Well, Europe's the old world.
Right.
The old world is built on ethnicity.
Exactly.
Tribal states.
Exactly.
And so we don't have that history.
Right.
And we're like, okay, what are we supposed to do?
You're right.
And it's like, well, not everyone can become an Englishman.
Right.
Because you become an Englishman through heredity.
Exactly.
You inherit that from your parents. I can't become French ever.
Right.
Because my parents weren't French.
Yeah, my wife's from Japan. I can't ever become Japanese.
Exactly. My children, if I married a Japanese woman, they could inherit it.
Right, they can do it.
I can't do it.
Right.
And so we don't have the same sense of personal identity that the New World has.
Yes.
And so the New World, not imposing, but we import this from the New World.
Yeah.
And this, and it's a very liberal perspective, and it's like, look,
Exactly.
it just doesn't work for us. We are civilizational people, as you call it.
Right.
And I think you're exactly right.
Yeah. You're the best, man. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Gang, the news is not slowing down, and neither are we. The best thing you can do right now is get on the Patriot Alert newsletter so you are never the last to know when something big breaks. Scan the QR code on your screen and sign up today. Stay ahead, stay informed, stay free.